I wanted to ask you about. I don't know if you've been reading or seeing or looking into this, but we were just talking about LeBron and how he's viewed in the public court. What's happening with Facebook, bro? Like Facebook right now it went from like this really great thing about 10, I think probably, let me see, when I moved here, Facebook was just coming up when I moved here. So let's say in a 12-year span, it went from this amazing thing where you could share photos and meet friends and meet old college sweethearts and hook up with people that you haven't seen in a hot minute. And then now it's become this totally different thing now.
It's
Right?
basically an ad agency. That's basically what it is now.
Right now, it's an ad agency, but that's like C, because they've been like thrown under the bus for voter tampering, rigging elections. They banned Trump in the same span. They've blocked some of their employees from coming out and saying things. I mean, Zuckerberg really doesn't have a clean social like presence in the sense of how people view him. Everybody kind of doesn't like him. He's kind of like bundled up with Bill Gates in that sense. I mean, it's just crazy that it went from like this, really amazing platform to now it being like in the muck of becoming maybe like a social disruptor.
I think what especially social media, we're still like at the fetal like part of the phase. Let's say if it was a baby, like it's right now it's like this is the sperm going to the egg kind of thing. That's how, because we're still kind of understanding and trying to dictate what social media is and how it's affecting things. And by all means, it's the positives outweigh the negatives by, I think, by a long shot. I think you got people that in you could literally make money in your underwear from anywhere in the world thanks to
Yeah.
social media. you
Yes.
know and that's a big ass positive. And the very small negatives, I think, can be ratified and fixed. I do think some of these social media companies do need to, I don't know. The thing is, the government sucks at doing things, so I don't want them to be run by the government. But I would like to see a little bit of integration in the sense of that free speech should be on your in your terms of service. Like the constitutional right of free speech should be in your terms of service. There's no reason why anybody, including Donald Trump, including Alex Jones, including anyone, should ever be silenced for anything that they're saying. Period. I think if anybody who has dumb speech or false information or you know anything that could be challenged by somebody who has a better idea, somebody who's more intelligent, somebody who passes a more intelligent argument across, even dumb people should be able to speak. So, like, I had always had an issue with a couple of people who I know who would say, "Yeah, that's right. That person should be canceled." And I'm like, that makes no sense. And somebody shouldn't be canceled for what they say, even if they say "I fuck babies." Even if they say that, it doesn't matter if they say that. Now, if they do it, that's a whole different thing. But saying something with words, it doesn't matter. Like we're in this weird thing where we want to have these safe spaces for people and these kids and these young people who are 20, 24 years old who don't want to go through life with somebody telling them you're a fucking idiot or go eat a dick or you're fucking retarded or any of these words that people find triggering. And YouTube has a list of stuff that you can't say, and Twitter has a things of stuff that you can't say. We got to get out of this misnomer of who are the gatekeepers are these social media companies of what can be said. And it sucks because there's been some people whose channels on YouTube, who, let's say that's their only means of income, have been taken away or demonetized, and they have the right because we had this back and forth before where if you feel something, that's not it. Just because you feel violated or you feel uncomfortable or you feel somebody disrespected you doesn't mean that that person shouldn't be able to say whatever they want because they're just words. you know we grew up in an era where sticks and stones would break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And I'll stick to those, to this day. And I get called sometimes an asshole because I just say the truth. But saying the truth doesn't mean you're an asshole. You're just trying to make sure that there's an open dialogue between two people and there's facts involved. And sometimes people don't like to hear facts. They like to hear, and I hate when people say this, their truths. I'm like, who the fuck gives a fuck about your truths? We're talking about the overall, the facts of whatever topic that we're discussing. And I think, these social media companies, Facebook included, need to have, just be transparent. Just like, like Robinhood. Why is it free? Because they're selling your data. That's why it's fucking free. Facebook, guess what? It's fucking free. Why? Because they're selling your data. You want to use Facebook? This is the thing. We're going to take your information. We're going to take your spending habits. We're going to take what you like to watch, and we're going to sell it for advertising. If you're straight up with people are like, okay, cool. All right, I guess I got to use your platform because there's so many other people using your platform anyway. But if you are open and transparent, people are fine with that. It's that when people feel slighted and feel like they were deceit, this people lying to them. That's when people have an upright and are upset. That's why people are upset with Robinhood. They're gonna be upset with all these social media companies. So that's what Mark Zuckerberg has to do.
It's crazy too, because I was talking to my mom yesterday, and my favorite thing now is like, I'll block you. Say so. I'll block you. I'll block you, bro. And then they say so. You're blocked. And now that's what we're. I even see it's so funny because I think like if you're, I don't know, what do they call those things? Trolls. I think if you're a troll and whatever, and you're getting blocked or you're blocking people, what the fuck ever. I think it's comedy in not a good way when I see celebrities bait people in to get them blocked. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I think it's dumb. And I don't know. This is a really, really, really tough place because first of all, let's speak to the selling of the data. I don't even know. I mean, no one reads the terms of agreement when they sign into any of these platforms, right?
79 pages.
Right. And then, when they're selling it, it's just like, well, I'm gonna keep using it, and then I get obviously. Listen, nothing is for free. And we should have been knowing that something like that was going down. But this is a new era. I think Apple's doing something really cool where they're blocking a lot of people who are tracking you, and they're trying to not everybody steal your data to resell. I mean, I think it's crazy that Robinhood, that should be illegal, by the way, what Robinhood is doing, because okay, what I like on TV, what I like on movies, whether I like politics or not, that's okay if you want to sell that. I'm not saying it's 100%, but I that to me is, I can handle that more. When you're fucking selling to another hedge fund my buying habits, you're pretty much controlling the market. That means that there's no free market. That means that there's no opportunity for a joke. That's why I have a Robinhood account, but I was only using it to check out crypto, because crypto, I don't know what the fuck is happening here. It's losing its goddamn mind. But I just use it for that. I would never fuck with them. And Facebook has been another one that I've been kind of dragging my feet on because they seem shady, right? Like you were saying in the transparency part, especially with the selling the data. But I don't know, man. Social media, we are in its infant phase. I can't believe 10, 15 years in almost we still haven't even cracked the surface of it. I know a lot of people, are on the fence, and there's so many different things, but it is like you said, you can become, an entrepreneur in your shorts, making shit happen on social. So it's like a double-edged sword. There's a lot of things that are good about it. There's a lot of things that are bad about it. I also think that a huge talking point that a lot of people are really getting into is the freedom of speech thing, because that's not written into into your rights. It's not saying, well, freedom of speech also includes Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, right? And so now for these guys to look at it, I was telling somebody this the other day. I think that Twitter, out of all of them, is kind of the better out of all of them, because Twitter lets a lot of shit go. A lot. I mean, the fact that it has porn on there, none of the other social media sites have porn.
That's the one that tricks me about with Twitter is like, you have fucking pouring all over your shit, and it's fine. But if Donald Trump says something, you block him, or Alex Jones, or any conservative. If it's any conservative, yeah, somebody who got suspended or banned. I forgot the woman's name. That she wrote. All she wrote was, "Trans women are not women," and she was banned.
Oh, I remember that.
Or, if you know Caitlyn Jenner, if I wrote on Twitter Bruce Jenner.
Right. That's called a dead
Dead
name.
name.
Done for that shit too.
Why is that a something? Like, why is that something?
Well, I thought this too. Okay, so it seems like these social media companies are ran by democratic individuals, right? And so they're obviously going to be taking shots at the conservatives, right? I'm again, I don't fit on neither one of these boxes because I really don't care for either side. But I almost think like, I mean, they got shut down, but I feel like Parler shouldn't have been the last one. If I'm on that conservative side, I'm like, bro, we need to open up something else so that when the Democrat says something stupid, block you, block you, because it only seems like the left have a platform.
Yep, and it's sad. Now, and what's whack about the shit too is that they bitch and complain and say, go to your own platform. They go to their own platform and then they get fucking still got shut down anyway. So like, which one is it? Go take your ball and go home. Okay, I'm taking my ball. I'm going home, and on my way home, you fucking take my ball too. Which one is it? You can't have it all.
I mean, and then she said anti-Semitic comments, or I don't even know if you could classify them as anti-Semitic. They were referred to Jews, but she said something crazy. They shut her shit down. I mean, she got fired from Star Wars. Yeah,
and
she got fired from Star Wars.
And here's an issue that I even have with the Jewish community too. If you talk about anything in the Jewish community is anti-Semitic, no matter fucking what it is.
Remember Deshaun Jackson? When he wrote that shit, he had to scramble it out. He's lucky he's playing football.
What I'm saying is it's anything. And it's like,
right, that's what I'm saying.
I get you. Like, you went through a bad period in your lifetime. Cool. Black people were enslaved for 400 plus years. And people weren't getting canceled. And their shit pulled off if they mention anything about slavery. But if they mention anything about a Jew, it's automatically anti-Semitic. You blah, blah, blah. You blah, blah, blah this. You blah, blah, blah that. Like, I think we have also, like, sometimes I'll make a comment about a stereotype. And like, people were like, oh, joking. Oh, you're racist. I'm like, what? Like, Spanish people like to eat rice and beans. That's a stereotype that most Spanish people, including myself, like to eat rice and beans. Black people like to eat watermelons. Chinese people like to eat sushi, or
Japanese,
right. Or Asian, whatever. They like to eat that type of food, or exotic food, or exotic animals. Those are just stereotypes. That doesn't mean that it's racist. And what's fucked up too is that we just passed laws to protect the Asian community right away, but we didn't do it for the blacks or the Hispanics. And it just shows where people are and what is important to people and what's not important to people, and what we pick and choose to be important. And it's a scary road that we're going down.
I'm starting to get like a little pissed off that there's like no respect for the brown, like none. Like, I mean, listen, I know everybody has their concerns, right? But it feels like now everybody wants to be at the front of the line. And Trump on his soapbox talked about one time how they're sending, specifically speaking to Mexicans, that they send us their racists, and they're racist. They send us their murderers and their rapists, right? And he got away with that.
But even that clip was disingenuous because he went. If you watch the whole 2-hour interview thing, that press conference, he says, the guys who are defecting from Mexico are normally criminals, and most of
that's not a true statement.
But what I'm saying is that
mostly that's not a true statement.
What I'm saying is that what he said was that the people who are coming here, we've arrested them for crimes they've committed in the United States, and then they're sending mostly the bad people. From what he says in the whole context. I'm just saying the whole context.
No, I get you. I understand. I
So,
just
like,
think it's in token. Like the thing is that people come here, right, and they try to make a living, but it's hard. You know what I mean? Like I talk about this all the time. You know, the poor people are reactionary, right? It's not that they want to commit crimes; it's that they're fucking hungry. They're fucking thirsty. They want
sure.
housing. They want these types of things. I mean, obviously, like there's a cap on how poor you could be, but there's no cap on how rich you could be, right? You could have 800 bill and you're good. But 26,000, that's as much as we're gonna give you, and not even that. I don't even know. I think that's a lot because I think like 16,000 is considered like within the poor context.
I think if you make $26,000 or $30,000 a year, you're in the top 1%. If I'm not
Of what?
mistaken, of people who make money
Wow,
in the world.
Christ. But that's in the world concept. See, those are the things that they like to fucking paint. We're not talking about the world, bro. We're talking about the United States of America, not you specifically. But I'm saying in general. Like when you bring that into the thing, I'm like, okay, great. In Mexico, yeah, they make like $10 a week, but we're not talking about Mexico. We're talking about the United States. And I think $26,000 ain't jack shit. Especially now, like. I don't know about you because you live in YO, but now this is the thing that got me pissed off, and I don't really know what to do. They're raising my rent, and I'm like, bro, really? Right now you're raising the rent right now. People still haven't even gotten back on their feet, and you're here trying to make more bread, you know? But that's just speaking, like I said, you know, last week, and we talked about it. We got to definitely like get a show where we can start like dialing down some of these notions and these ideas, because capitalism is cool. But it just seems like people are just greedy. Forget about capitalism, because I feel like that word confuses people and then they want to talk differently about it. Greed is killing America. It really is. Everybody, the guys that have it all don't want to break bread with nobody else. But again, I think that's another topic for another time.